Okay. So, guys, we just watched two of the newer My Little Ponies episodes right after creating our ultimate sound barrier room, which is literally just duct tape and about 14 blankets, which seems, I think, it's going to be pretty good.
A large bowl of ice cream and a Snickers bar and 2 candy bars and I think 5 no-bake cookies and 2 slices of pizza, and mistakes have been made.
So he's going to die.
I'm going to die. It's not all my fault. You just brought me a bowl of ice cream and then a Snickers bar at 12:30.
No, that was at 12:30. It's still not 12. It's 11:32. I brought it to you like 2 hours ago. Ice cream because I felt bad to grab myself ice
What are our
cream.
nicknames here?
I'm Jim Bob, you're Joe Bob, and you're Jim.
Fat horse.
That sounded like something else for a second.
Close. Maybe here.
Yeah, didn't sound like something good for a second there.
I don't know.
I'm Jim Bob, you're Joe Bob, I bleep!
Okay.
Alright, bleep! Let's get on with
The
this.
topic of the day is cutie marks.
Yeah, the topic of the day is cutie marks. And something that we've realized,
Cutie marks are for butts.
actually kind of, right? Because, one of the more recent episodes has a dirtwad, filly being all like,
It was a cult.
no, what?
It was a cult. The male
Aren't they-
fillies are cults.
Isn't a colt a just full-grown horse?
No, a colt
No.
is a young male horse. A filly is a young female horse.
Oh,
So it was a cult.
well, I'm glad I know that. Well, yeah, you didn't see our awesome fort?
Decent acoustics in here.
Yeah, actually awesome acoustics. And who left the hole open on the side? How dare they?
Call me fat
What?
Oh, fat horse.
I'm
Kill
not
yourself.
cutting this part out. The door's open.
Alright, I'm just gonna call you fat.
Okay,
Good night.
fat.
Fat or horse.
Ow!
We are all in a good condition. I'm just getting off of a cold.
I got a job as a security guard today.
And I broke both my legs today and yesterday.
Didn't break him, just worked him out, and so now he feels like
Into my blanket.
we're all in very close proximity with each other. I think we're gay now.
It's like borderline.
Not borderline, we're just gay now. It's just the
I
truth.
don't have a sticker anywhere.
Yeah,
So the topic of the day is cutie marks.
yeah, topic of the day, cutie marks.
So, person, ow, my fingernail. Person 1, if you had a cutie mark, what would you want it to be? And don't say cooking.
I'd want it to be like a black ball with pony skull in it. That way, I'd probably do whatever that seems like it would be.
Pick something that you're not already good at, so you just instantly are magically best at this thing.
Well, that provides a problem, because I have yet to kill anyone, and I assume this cutie mark would let me be good at killing someone.
Getting this cutie mark would just mean you're suddenly the best at this thing. Like, magically, it's your destiny.
Alright, pony mass murder then. Not because I'm like a psycho, but because, like, that'd be kind of edgy.
So what are you, like,
Then what would you, Joe Bob, like to have your cutie mark on your bottom be?
I think it'd be immortality and infinite strength.
What would that look like? Would that look like, I don't know,
try and,
Glowing angel or something?
do they even know what an
Glowing
angel is?
pony angel.
Do they even know what angels are in that
That's
world?
not a skill. That's not something to be good at. That's just having a superpower.
Well, Rainbow Dash has a superpower. She's just, like, I think, able to create rainbows? Or is just fast enough able to do it? What is her...
That's just fast enough.
Yeah, I've never seen her actual cutie mark, like, come into effect. I mean, I guess that's kind of like a passive effect cutie mark, because, like, Twilight's obviously is magic and gives her huge amplifications of that, which... So, cutie marks. What do we know about them? Well, they're very, 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 very unfair. Like, extraordinarily unfair. Like, could you imagine walking past Twilight before she became a freaking princess and be like, alright, I'm studying magics and I'm good at earth magics. I can, like, till the land better. I'm sort of like an earth pony, but, I'm a lot better than them. I can also fly and things like that. Well, not really, but maybe once I get strong enough. And then you just walk by with your 1,000 books, you're still learning and things like that, and you see Twilight, and you go, wait, does she have a symbol on her butt that is quite literally the one on my textbook here? Yeah, that's just the magic symbol. Wait, so I'm good at earth magic, she's good at magic.
She's good at old magic. Sucks to be you.
So, like, maybe I'm better than her at this magic. Well, I'm probably better at her than this magic, just sort of across the board, and gonna have some, caveats to that, but all magics she's going to be good at. All of them. And she's going to be just astonishing at them. So like, oh no, you're better at me than earth magic. I guess I'm just going to use, I don't know, lightning. I'm just going to use water and wash away your earth magic. I'm just going to use ice and break up the ground. It's like, it doesn't matter whatever I do. I can like do anything to combat you. That would just be so terrible because versatility just is better than specialization if you have absolute versatility. But this is to talk about something else.
Also, some people just, some people will get, sometimes they might have a cutie mark that's like buttered toast, whereas another person comes walking along and their cutie mark is literally Thor's hammer shooting lightning. How do you even compare to that? Oh, I'm best at buttered toast. Yeah, I kill monsters for a living.
Yeah, but, I mean, we can once again say that guy might just not exist. Like, that might be a sad thing, but he might not actually be real in the world.
Well, I mean, it's a hammer with lightning coming off of it. Clearly she's good at magic and lightning hammers.
Yeah,
but I think the cutie mark that I would want to be would be like, I don't know, like a pair of vocal cords, and the power/ability would be total vocal control, so I can mimic like any voice and be excellent at beatboxing and singing and whatnot.
I feel like that's something that might come up later.
Also,
that'd be kind of cool.
Vocal cords would just look kind of gross.
So maybe like a mic or something like that.
Have you seen
Songbird or something?
Have you seen videos of vocal cords working? It's not PG.
It's not.
Okay, well, but what I was trying to say here is, what's it called, with the Thor guy is, if you've noticed, a number of times in MLP, they'll just be like, haha, lol, that was just something we wanted to do. I mean, I think it's like what animators always do, but the Thor guy, Thor pony might just, have existed one day and then just like, boop, gone. Sorry, he doesn't make much sense in our universe. Which is, actually, that doesn't lead on at all to this next subject.
But they did have a tribe of Norse ponies. That's, that comes up in the season finale. There was the Norse pony who was a small Viking man who then became a very, very large Viking man.
I love that story, by the way. Like, no in-between, just like, so he's a small kid, can't do much, but the courage
now
one
I'm
day...
12 feet tall!
Yeah, I had the courage one day to be able to stand up to a natural phenomenon, so I became ripped! I love it.
Perfect segue into our actual topic for the day. The latest episode with the Cutie Mark Crusaders. The one where they started a Cutie Mark day camp.
Yeah, they created a Cutie Mark daycare camp, or, yeah, day camp, not daycare camp, but might as well be since they're all, like, babies. Which, for one, why did no one complain about, like, she's, like 8 years old and we're, like, 7 years old? This doesn't make sense. But, no, the biggest thing was, I realized the Cutie Mark Crusaders, for all that they want to find out about cutie marks and, like, give everyone different cutie marks, they haven't really got any answers for people who don't want cutie marks, because it just doesn't make sense to them. They literally, like, I mean, that's what's showed in the episode. They could not comprehend, even though it was very obvious this kid didn't want to be doing anything, that he just didn't want to try.
And when they tried to confront him, then I think it was Sweetie Belle just started screaming at him.
Yeah, like okay, we can...
Cutie marks make you special! Yeah, they put you in a special box. Special!
No, like, remember the cutaway, which was, what's it called? Like, come on, guys, we can talk to him calmly, and then it, like, goes right next to her, she's going, like, ah! Understandable. So, this is the, theory that we want to say is, cutie marks. They're actually able to be changed, from what they are, which is apparent that the cutie marks are some form of destiny for these ponies, that when they do what they're supposed to be doing, eventually they're going to get this mark that helps them in being able to doing what they're doing. Essentially the mark of Celestia. Celestia's, well, it's not really from Celestia, we don't really know what it's from, but it seems like Celestia is one of the first ponies, around. Although, once again, that's confusing. Yeah, I'm gonna stop on this tangent. But anyways, they have these marks that show them the destiny of what they're supposed to be doing, and yet our Cutie Mark Crusaders, our CMCs, seem to have actually altered what their powers are, or what their cutie marks do, because their cutie marks originally are supposed to be, for Sweetie Belle, she's supposed to be good at singing, and she is. And for Scootaloo, she's supposed to be good at riding a scooter.
And skateboarding.
Yeah, and skateboarding, and she is. And for Appleboom, she's supposed to be good at carpentry, and she is. And their cutie marks eventually, like, they try for so long, even though they're told by everyone, just don't sweat it and just keep on going on with doing what you're doing and you're gonna find it. They struggled so long to not actually do the thing that they're good at and that they sound like they're good at, because, names actually do translate to it a little bit, that they actually changed it. That instead of getting a cutie mark of these different symbols, they got cutie marks of their little tribe, of their little club, along with the little caveats of their actual what their cutie marks should be.
They avoided their destiny for a good 5 years until their destiny mutated into similar but different.
Bone, I had an interesting thought in my head. Imagine if, like, Discord appeared to you in real life, hypothetically, and he gave you the option for, what if the option to temporarily be transformed into a pony version, like you can pick any of the 3 races, and you get to pick the amount of time. And considering that essentially you'd be put into a perfectly healthy pony body with, like, no sickness or diseases, which one would you pick, and for how long would you want the transformation to last?
Earth pony, and then I do nothing.
You'd seriously pick Earth pony? What sort of idiot picks Earth? No, it's dumb. You can freaking fly if you picked Pegasus.
Well, I've got a small chance of being Mod Pie, and then I can just kill anyone that gets near me, because I'm pretty certain that's what she can do.
I think I'd probably pick Pegasus and 1 year.
1 year? Okay, I'd pick Earth pony and forever.
The thing is, I think 1 week, if I was transformed for 1 year, I think I'd be pretty content with that.
Oh, actually, I just realized something I could do. No, I would do it for, maybe half a week, because then I could get somewhere and really wreck some havoc. Like, I don't know, go to like a, what's it called, a wrestling tournament, and just like jump in there and just get everyone to like pile onto me, and then just like beat the crud out of all of them. Like, time it so that there's only like maybe like a minute left, and at that point, boom, I'm transformed back. Nobody knows what the heck's going on, and it's just a giant anthropomorphic animal was just beating the tar out of them for 1 second.
One of the important reasons, besides wanting to fly, well, my life wouldn't actually change that much if I picked Pegasus and it was like that for a year, because I could still draw and use a computer, because it's demonstrated multiple times that they can essentially use their wings like big hands.
Okay. Okay, back to the cutie marks, though.
My name would be Razzleberry Fizzlepop.
Cutie mark Crusaders, they mutated their cutie marks quite heavily to the point that they're good at what they were before, and they're also good at this new thing, which is finding cutie marks out for other people, which apparently was becoming quite the epidemic for kids their age, which I'm a little bit surprised at. I don't really know why it came around, but apparently a lot of kids at their age are very scared about not being able to get cutie marks. Supposedly, it's always been around that people are anxious about cutie marks, but, like, never to this extent. No one's ever really gone so far to remove themselves from their destiny that they eventually get a different mark for it. So, that's actually something that's very interesting. And the other thing to say is, in the episode where the kid comes along and pretty much steals away their whole day camp of cutie mark, or of fillies and stuff like that, he's scared about getting the wrong cutie mark and not being able to follow in his brother's footsteps. Not because he necessarily like loves his brother, which he does, but just because he loves what his brother's doing, which is a Wonderbolt. Which is completely understandable, because I would consider it very likely that you would not be able to get into the Wonderbolts if you do not have a speed-related cutie mark.
Because all of them do.
Yeah, because every single one of the Wonderbolts does in fact have a speed mark. Maybe this is because like no one else has tried out for it, or maybe it's because they need that boost. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to meet the requirements. Or maybe it's because they just say, like, literally, is your cutie mark a speed cutie mark? And if it's not, they're like, we kind of just don't want you. So this kid...
My talent is baking. Well, okay, bye.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's very interesting to remember here is, the lesson at the very end of the episode is a bit of a flop, because the only person that really ends up teaching the kid about like the differences of or the reason why he should be able to try, or he should be trying everything, is his brother. He's saying, hey, I love baking. Baking is great. I mean, I still have a speed cutie mark, but that doesn't mean that I don't bake. Which doesn't make sense, because could you imagine if the kid, like that, like right then, he's got a baking cutie mark and went, brother, I can't believe you've done this to me. You've condemned me.
He can now no longer be in the Wonderbolts.
Yeah, you have condemned me to not being able to do the one thing that I wanted. Which, I mean, honestly, I would be a little bit concerned. He's getting around the age that a number of kids are getting their cutie marks, so he wants to be doing the one thing he wants to be doing. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think that Rainbow Dash did much of... She went through a school for flying.
I think all Pegasi do, though.
Yeah, but still, she was doing nothing but flying, and she wanted to fly, and I suspect she kind of knew her cutie mark was going to be flying. I think this kid is a little bit nervous and not as confident, but also a little bit less, I don't know, lackadaisical, because it seemed like Rainbow Dash was like, I'll be whatever, but I do want to fly. But he really wanted this, like, more than anything else.
I remember there was that one episode a while ago when Twilight ended up becoming an alicorn, where she performed one of the Star Swirl spells, and she accidentally switched all her friends' cutie marks, and then all their lives were going terrible. I read at some point an idea which would have made that a lot more interesting, where what if instead of them all having a terrible time with their switched cutie marks and switched destinies, what if they all took to it and liked it? Like, what if they like the switched destinies that they don't know about and their lives are going fine? Like, can Twilight even be justified in changing that at that point?
It kind of makes more sense than what really happened, considering these cutie marks are supposed to be something they liked.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a magical destiny. Their magical destiny wouldn't be screwing their life up.
Although there is a few cases where, where the cutie marks don't really seem to get it right. I mean, the one that I can think of is specifically with the,
Troubleshoes?
The
Clydesdale?
Yeah, the Clydesdale Troubleshoes, where he literally didn't know what his cutie mark was, and he got it kind of just randomly, when he made a fool of himself, right?
Yeah, he slipped on a banana peel and slammed his face in a pie or something stupid like that.
Maybe he was just getting so old and past the point that he should have gotten his cutie mark, at least for him anyways, that it just sort of gave him it the moment he tried to get it.
I think it showed him getting his cutie mark when he was little.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He should have gotten it for a while, but he hadn't done anything to get it, so once he'd done anything that was like it, it just gave him it. Maybe that was something along the lines of it. But I would say that it's that actually the kid's theory, which is I'm just gonna fly and fly and fly and fly, and I should get a cutie mark in that, which wasn't quite the way he was thinking, but it basically was the same result. It would work. It actually would. The cutie mark crusaders just tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to get their cutie marks, and being good at finding out what or at trying new things, they eventually became good at being able to find cutie marks.
So if Rumble's magical destiny is supposed to be baking or whatever, or jam making, but then he did nothing but practice flying for 5 years, he could get a baking plus flying cutie mark.
Yeah, and if it's anything like what the CMC's got, then it would be a much larger emblem of a wing or lightning bolt or rainbow, whatever, and then inside of that would be a smaller image of what he was actually good at, maybe doing that hoof, what is it called, shoe protectors? Horseshoes. Yeah, the horseshoe throwing. Maybe he's good at that, and he just has a large lightning bolt with a small horseshoe in the middle of it, and that would be deal withable. He'd probably be able to still get into the academies like that with that, but not the other way around. If he just decided one day, I'm just gonna throw some horseshoes, and it turns out that's his destiny, well, that's it. His dreams are over. I mean, the only other person that I can think of, although there are a few, well, no, I can't think of any other right now, actually, so the only pony who has diverted her destiny for what she can do, I would say, is Rarity. Rarity's the only one, where she's literally just supposed to be good at finding and using magic for finding these diamonds, maybe excavating them and things like that, but she doesn't do that. Well, she does, but it's not the main thing she does. She's not a miner. Instead, what she is a fashionista, which is kind of shown in how she keeps messing up, because she's not actually that great, she's not perfect at her trade. So I'm certain there's some other people there with a sweet jacket as their or a top hat as their flank, which I think there's one guy, I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, with the inborn ability to be fashionable, but she's not.
I just realized why, when I said my name, why you thought that sounded inappropriate. It took me that long.
You didn't know? That's really good. Yeah, what? I'm perfectly fine.
I mean, I had a different theory, but I just thought of one that sounded much more reasonable to be misheard.
Alright, so this is simply the theory. All of this has been, because we don't have a whole lot to go on it, we haven't really gone back and forth on it. This is just the theory of, it seems like, cutie marks are actually able to be mutated in quite a major way, and it just hasn't happened, mainly because there hasn't been anyone that's wanted something so badly.
Like the CMC did.
Yeah, like the CMC did.
Starlight was able to do stuff with cutie marks, and the CMC were able to do stuff with cutie marks, and not a whole lot else has happened with them in the show.
Also, I have an idea. You know how you can crossbreed for one generation a horse and a donkey to get a mule, and the mule will be sterile. Would a mule have a cutie mark?
Probably. It seems like all the ponies have cutie marks, which also, once again, that's got to be really sad for all the other people where, their question might be wait, do we, not have a destiny or something?
We don't have magical destinies. There was that one Griffin girl. She really wanted to have one, but no, she doesn't have a magical destiny, and she never will.
She's just naturally good at everything.
I felt really bad, though, for one thing, which was she should probably, one way or another, be able to get a cutie mark. I mean, the ponies have it for some reason.
In fact, I know an obvious solution is Twilight straight up has shown that she can permanently change people's races. She did that when they all had to change into the Scottish fairy ponies. She just changed all their races. So clearly she could do that for that Griffin girl and just turn her into a pony.
Okay. Well, this has been the theory for now. We might redo this, but I liked it.
It's fine.
It's fine.
All sped up. Just needs to remove the parts.
Clip 10 minutes out of it.
All right. This has been experience theory. It's not meant to sound like game theory. Kind of is meant to sound like game theory. Oh no. Yeah. This is mostly meant to say experience theory because this is something we've watched through for a while and been noticing for a bit. And cutie marks do seem to have an odd effect on the world, one which the ponies don't really seem to recognize that much, which I think is something that audience members always pick up on, something that the rest of them don't really seem to mind, but is a very integral part of it. Maybe next time we'll notice that they're all ponies and not humans.